What's going on, guys? Flawless here, and today we're going to talk about what's new in the world of Pokemon. Please remember to hit that like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, but without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright guys, let's start off by talking about the World Championships that happened last weekend, specifically the VGC portion. The new Masters Division World Champion in Pokemon VGC is Eduardo Cunha. He was running a Zacian and Shadow Rider Calyrex core on his team. He had a day 2 invite, so started on day 2 after the initial Swiss rounds, and he was able to go undefeated from day 2 Swiss all the way up until the finals, where he became the new Masters Division World Champion in the video game championships. I want to talk a little bit about some of my favorite teams that I saw at the World Championships. First off, let's talk about David Kutesch's team. He ran a core of Dialga and Yveltal, and one of the unique picks on his team was Gyarados, which is super cool Pokemon, with Intimidate, and with Sword and Shield, I think he has the best move pool that he's ever had, so Gyarados is definitely a really cool pick. He also had a Landorus Therian in there. The thumbnail of the picture that they put up is incorrect. It's showing it in incarnate form, but it was a Landorus Therian. Next team I want to look at was Ben Grismer's team. He had a core of Zacian and Kyurem White, and the unique picks on his team were literally all of the other Pokemon, including Shedinja, Ditto, Sableye, and Urshifu. In this format that they're playing in, the most common one out of those four would have been Shedinja. But still, I find Shedinja to still be a very unique Pokemon and a very cool pick. Last but not least, let's talk about Tatsuya Wantanuki's team. He ran a core of Kyogre and Groudon, so double weather, which was super cool. There was not a lot of double weather teams that I saw, at least that went on stream. There's one other one that had a Torkoal as a sun weather, but this was the only Kyogre Groudon that I saw on stream. And his unique picks were Golisopod and Raikou. Tatsuya's on-screen top cut match was actually the most upsetting match in the tournament to me. He was up one game, and he was about to close out the second game to move on to the next round. But right at the last seconds of the game, he disconnected somehow. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but they counted it as a loss for him, so it had to go to a game 3. The only reason I can think that they would say it was a loss on his side is if somehow he accidentally hit the power button or something and turned it off himself. But either way, he was ahead 2-1 Pokemon, and it looked very commanding that he was going to win and move on to the next round. However, in the game 3, he was beaten. So I found it really disappointing, just because I really would have loved to have seen this team move on farther into the tournament, especially with him using the Golisopod to very good success and having a fairly dominant win in game 1 and game 2, or at least should have been a win. So I did find that particular match to be pretty upsetting, but it was a great tournament nonetheless. Alright guys, the rest of the video is going to be about the future of VGC as far as 2023, as well as new information about battle mechanics for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that were announced at Worlds. So let's start off with some news that I find fairly disappointing. While Pokemon TCG and Pokemon Go will have a regular season for 2023 starting September 16th of 2022, VGC will not start until January 6th at the San Diego Regionals. You could be saying to yourself, well, Flawless, isn't that because a new game is coming out? But if you think back to the 2020 season at the start, they still started VGC 2020 in the fall of 2019. And that led up to an Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon International Championship at the Latin American International Championships in November, and actually the weekend of November 15th, the same time that Pokemon Sword and Shield came out. So what's really upsetting to me is, yeah, it'll be a long wait until January before we get more official VGC streams to watch, because I love watching Pokemon just as much as I like playing it. But also, the Latin American International Championships is going to be in September this year, and I feel like with it being that early on, there's no reason not to do one last big tournament in Sword and Shield, let people get some championship points, and then even if you want to go on hiatus from that point on until January, we're still getting another big show for VGC, and especially with them announcing the rule set for Series 13, I would love to see an official tournament in that format using all mythicals and all legendary Pokemon. Next, we're going to talk about the competitive Pokemon Scarlet and Violet trailer that was released at Worlds. But I want to start by talking about just the footage itself that I find kind of troubling for the future of VGC. So generally in these competitive trailers, or at least if you look back to when they showed the competitive trailer for Pokemon Sword and Shield, they showed it in normal VGC format, which is doubles. This trailer showed everything in singles, also more specifically in 3v3 singles, which I don't believe is a very good format for competitive Pokemon. I've never thought 3v3 was that good. Don't get me wrong, I love singles battles, but 3v3 has always seemed so dependent on your lead, can just decide the match. You have less time to switch around, there's less utilization of synergy, and I like the complex chess-like nature of VGC being doubles. Having the team preview where you bring 6 Pokemon, you pick 4, so you see the other team, you decide from that what you want to pick, and then going into double battles where you have to predict which Pokemon's attacking where, what you should protect, what you should attack with, and that dynamic is what makes VGC really great, in my opinion. So the possibility of it going to 3v3 singles is really upsetting to me. I mean, the new battle mechanics that they showed off would allow for some more synergy and some more tactical strategy within a singles match, but it looks like it would kind of pigeonhole you in some places to certain Pokemon, and we'll get into that a little bit more as we start talking about the new mechanics that they showed off. If I'm honest, I really don't think that they would make that drastic of a change to the competitive format, since it's been in doubles since the start of competitive Pokemon. But it is interesting that they chose singles and showed it off with the trainer card showing that it was 3v3 singles, which is the ranked ladder for singles in Pokemon. So it's just a scary thought to me, but right now I am still leaning towards it going back to the same, but just wanted to point that out. Next, let's look at the new Pokemon that was announced in the Scarlet and Violet competitive trailer. They showed off Cyclizar, which is the Mount Pokemon, and it looks like that will be the first Rhydon Pokemon / HM Pokemon that you're going to get in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It looks like it's possibly going to be connected to Koraidon and Miraidon, the legendaries of the game. It may even evolve into them, similar to Lunala and Solgaleo in Sun and Moon. Alright guys, let's go ahead and look at some of the new mechanics announced in the trailer. So for Cyclizar, they showed off a new move called Shed Tail, which creates a substitute then switches out to a Pokemon selected from your party. This was the move I was referencing when I said prior that if they went to 3v3 format, you'd be pigeonholed a little bit, because this is just such a good ability for 3v3 singles or singles in general. I can see it being amazing in doubles as well, but this definitely seems like a mechanic that would benefit 3v3 singles a lot and would really pigeonhole you into picking a Pokemon that had access to this move. And right now, Cyclizar and likely the legendaries are the only ones that will have access to this move. So a new item announced in the trailer was Mirror Herb. It copies the opponent's stat increases when consumed. They showed a Cetitan copying the belly drum boost from Azumarill. Thinking about a Pokemon freely getting the boost from belly drums without taking the damage of the move sounds pretty incredible. They also showed off defensive use of terastallizing in the trailer. They showed a Colossal turn to its water Terra form to take minimal damage from a Hydro Pump and then get its Steam Engine proc to get the boosts. They also showed off another new item called Loaded Dice. This makes multi-strike moves more likely to hit more times. And my favorite new mechanic announced was the move Terra Blast. It changes typings of the move when you terastallize. So this boosts the synergy between your Pokemon's regular form and Terra form and gives the Pokemon more coverage options overall. It's kind of like Hidden Power was in Generation 2 through 7. Alright guys, that's all I have for today in what's new in the world of Pokemon. But if you have any opinions on any of the topics in this video, please leave a comment below because I really want to talk about this. Do you think it's possible that VGC is going to 3v3 singles? Do you think that's possibly why there's going to be a hiatus until January before we get any VGC tournaments? Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. You're all flawless, and I'll see you next time. Bye.